Are we being punked today, or is this real?
Every season of MasterChef Junior always gives us great moments. Season 5 in particular was chock full of unforgettable tidbits. From guest judges like Julie Bowen and Richard Blais to Gordon dressed like an elf, Season 5 was definitely one for the record books.
It all comes down to this.
Winter Wonderland.
I feel like I'm inside of a snow globe. Next thing you know, someone's just sort of shaking me.
In almost every season of MasterChef Junior, the judges plan a surprise for the young chefs to remind them that not everything is serious in this competition.
They turn the whole MasterChef kitchen into a winter wonderland.
Shane gets incredibly excited.
In Texas, it barely snows, but I never thought the first time I would see snow would be under a roof.
After frolicking in the snow, a special guest comes out of the gingerbread house. But then, where's Gordon? The change to the Winter Wonderland leads to a Winter Wonderland-inspired challenge.
This is a real precision test for them. Every piece of candy needs to be placed with intention, and that's part of what we're testing them for tonight.
This is all for the kids. Gordon would not dress up in a silly elf costume for just anyone. One thing that MasterChef Junior does really well is taking an entire theme and running with it, allowing both the kids and the judges to have a great time with it. Liking this video so far? Show us some love and hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Cooking tips.
This is the dish that all of you will be cooking tonight. Something rich, warm, sophisticated.
Learning a recipe from the master is something these young contestants could only dream of, and to see them cook or explain a recipe in front of them must be absolutely surreal. Whether it was Gordon's steak frit or Christina's macaroons, these contestants get the privilege of watching these masters cook and seeing just how things should be done. The cooking tips are commonly used as inspiration for challenges, such as Christina's molten lava cake.
I'm using both ovens,
Absolutely.
and I am staggering the time with which those molten lava cakes go in.
For the corn dog challenge, they explain what they're looking for in the perfect corn dog.
A nice even coat of golden brown batter, and more importantly, no hot dog showing.
One thing that stands out from these cooking tips is one of Gordon's famous recipes.
The one and only
Beef Wellington!
Learning a recipe like that from the man who has it as a staple on one of his other shows has to be amazing. These cooking tips not only set up challenges for the season, but give cooking tips to the audience as well.
Those steps, you just lost me. I mean, these are 8 to 13-year-olds.
We're pushing them so much harder this year because how good they are.
Contestant struggles.
Guys, start plating!
4 minutes,
Okay.
guys. Come on, let's go.
Oh, that looks horrible.
On any cooking show, from MasterChef Junior to MasterChef to Hell's Kitchen to Chopped, it is both cringeworthy and, depending on the contestant, can be a little satisfying. That isn't always the case with the small chefs on MasterChef Junior, mainly because you know as an audience that these kids are trying their best and still learning. These are the moments you see the most compassion from the judges as well. In group challenges, the contestants get a bit snippy with one another as the time ticks down.
Start plating! So I'm gonna put this down like here, and I'm just gonna swipe it.
They remind each other to communicate, albeit with a little bit of urgency.
Talk, guys, talk! So guys, do you see it? Sydney, come here!
In these moments, audiences see glimpses of the adult equivalents of this show. You can feel the stress, the tension, the issues between teams. The tag team challenges are always hard for the cooks because they lose control for a time. With Peyton and Afnan, there's a clear breakdown of communication.
Nagiri! 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 Nagiri!
So much so that Gordon even comes over to talk to Peyton.
What's Afnan got to do now? What's going on?
He's supposed to do the nigiri. I don't know what he's doing.
These clips all show that while these kids can be incredibly impressive, they have slip-ups just like the adults and can lose their cool just as quickly.
I've got to dress as a team.
Okay.
All 3 of you on the plates now.
The Muppets.
I'm a big fan of yours.
Season 5 was chock full of amazing guest stars. From Julie Bowen to Mayim Bialik, from Richard Blais to Wolfgang Puck, there was no shortage of guests to impress both the audience and the contestants. However, there was one pair that seemed to be just a little bit more for the contestants than for the audience.
Hurry up, Godfrey! It's Gordon.
The final 6 contestants must have been unable to predict who was going to show up next after so many great guests. When they see Miss Piggy and the Swedish Chef, they have the purest response that the audience can't help but love. Not only are Miss Piggy and the Swedish Chef there to judge, but they're to give the judges a hard time too. Christina and Gordon ask Miss Piggy some rapid-fire questions.
What food did you hate growing up? Slap. If you didn't grow up on a farm, don't ask.
Shane even gets to bring his dish to the Swedish chef, who has a response a little different than some other judges.
Hello.
This entire appearance is full of Miss Piggy making jokes, calling Gordon by the wrong name, and making the kids smile.
Warm weather or cold weather?
It doesn't matter, I'm hot wherever I go.
The chefs honor their moms.
It's safe to say I'm a busy mom, and I know that being a mom is the toughest job on earth.
Family is important to everyone, but especially to these young contestants on MasterChef Junior.
Who taught you how to cook?
My dad.
Love that.
In this particularly heartfelt challenge, the contestants were given the chance to honor their mothers through a meal. In a special guest appearance by Julie Bowen,
Celebrate your mom by cooking a dish in her honor. Yes! Yeah!
the chefs then get a special surprise in the drawers at their stations. When Gordon asks young home cook Donovan about his mother,
In your house, who's the better chef? Is it you or your mum?
My mom doesn't cook.
Oh,
then Gordon asks Donovan,
how old is mum?
No. Unnecessary.
many chefs honor their family through their food, so it is great for MasterChef Junior to give them the opportunity to do that as well.
She's definitely a super mom, probably like you. And she also inspires some of my dishes that I love to make.
Messy judges.
4, 3, 2, 1!
Nothing makes the contestants on MasterChef Junior happier than to see the judges looking an absolute mess. And lucky for them, that happens a lot on MasterChef Junior. The judges will stop at nothing to keep the smiles on the contestants' faces, even if it makes a mess out of them. Then they got Christina. And before long, it becomes a frosting fight. The judges are great sports, even letting the kids count down before they dump corn dog batter on Gordon. After he is covered in flour, comes the batter. The kids and judges can't help but laugh at how ridiculous they end up looking every time. These moments are great for the audience to see the kids and judges enjoying themselves, and making the competition a little less tense. The judges' willingness to get a little or a lot messy for the contestants makes MasterChef Junior that much more special.
I'm just glad that you didn't get skewered too.
Contestants' best dishes.
Wow, you've just raised the bar.
A highlight of any cooking show is seeing a chef do well. Regardless of how you feel about the chef, it's always great to see them get great marks and high praise from the judges. For Shane, one of his great dishes came during the challenge with the Muppets, when the Swedish chef tasted his dish.
I feel like I made my mom proud, my dad, my granny, my grandpa, and especially I made Texas proud.
For Jasmine, she does something not even many trained adult chefs can do. She made a perfect beef Wellington.
You're back with a vengeance, aren't you?
Yes, chef.
Shane gets even more praise during a vegan challenge with special guest judge Mayim Bialik.
Everything about this burger and side is really spot on.
Great consistency. I mean, the rice really, that's a great binder.
Justice also continuously received high praise from the judges, winning competition after competition.
Congratulations, Justice.
Justice!
She also receives one of the highest compliments from Judge Christina Tosi.
If you told me that an elementary school student made this dish, I wouldn't believe you.
These chefs impress the judges time and time again with their creativity, attention to detail, and level of skill.
Shane the Train, well done.
Thank you.
Gonzalo's attitude.
You guys are on the same team. There's no yelling at each other. You're on the same team.
It is very rare on MasterChef to see Gordon be anything like he is on his other shows. MasterChef Junior Gordon is usually kind, helpful, and more soft-spoken than he is on any other show. That is, until Gordon sees how Gonzalo is treating his teammates in a group challenge.
Make sure those have already cooked all sides.
When Gonzalo tries to justify his behavior, Christina has a necessary correction for what he's saying.
Communicating doesn't always mean yelling at everyone, to be clear.
Yeah.
This feels like the stress of an adult cooking show.
He's not letting Adam be the captain, and this team is chaotic.
When Gordon stops him and reminds him what he's there for,
Stop shouting and just cook, okay?
Gonzalo seems to listen. But within minutes, Gordon has to point it out to him again.
Just shouting again. Listen to your captain, please.
It's very rare to see a chef have to be scolded by Gordon, but Gonzalo's attitude made him have to change his tactic. It's a moment like this that reminds you that yelling has no place on MasterChef Junior.
Keep it together. We can do this.
Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama. That's awesome.
You can't get much better than the First Lady, can you? Not only did Michelle Obama show up to introduce the mystery box, but a healthy mystery box.
It's a mystery box inspired by the White House kitchen garden.
Okay.
This mystery box is fit for a First Lady like Michelle Obama, who has made this her main focus. This challenge has a great moment between Shane and Gordon.
Will you taste this for me?
It needs a little drizzle of olive oil, and if you're using shrimp, a little bit of acidity.
One lucky chef even got to go to the White House and meet Michelle Obama.
Congratulations. Justice.
The amazement on Justice's face as she sees everything in the White House is another reminder that for a young chef, this must be a dream. The two sit together for a chat, both looking very regal.
Usually they're grown-up affairs, and I sort of thought we should do something like this for kids, right?
This season of MasterChef Junior really raised the bar for guests, because not only did Michelle Obama help create a challenge, but the winner got to visit the White House.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're an excellent interviewer.
The finale.
Tonight, you have a front row seat for the biggest culinary showdown in all of America.
Finales of a competition show like this are always packed with energy, excitement, and ultimately the moment you have been waiting for all season. The moment someone is crowned the winner. In Season 5, the two finalists, Justice and Jasmine, truly earned their spots.
Is this your time now, do you think?
Yes, chef. I can bake, I can cook, and I deserve to win.
Justice was someone who was absolutely made for a competition like this. And it showed in her every single week.
She undoubtedly has the strongest competitive spirit of all this year's junior home cooks.
Not only did the finale show these two going up against each other, but there was another surprise as well.
Wolfgang Puck and the iconic Martha Stewart.
These two famed chefs are huge for the Season 5 finale. Waiting to find out who is going to win that $100,000 prize was an absolute nail-biter.
Only one of you will hold this.
Ultimately, Jasmine, an 11-year-old home cook from Georgia, was the winner. She became the first winner in the show's history to have been eliminated and come back. Congratulations, Jasmine.
This is the biggest moment in my entire life.
We hope you liked the video. Are there any other Season 5 moments we missed? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out our Season 6 video as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that gray notification bell to join our notification squad.